You get to the brush tool by hitting B. B for brush. It makes a lot of sense. And in order to use it, you click and drag, and it will form a brush in whatever color the foreground color is. So if this were blue, it would make a blue brush stroke. Now, similar to other tools, you use the right square bracket key in order to increase its size, and the left square bracket key in order to decrease its size. In order to, here, let's make the brush nice and big. There we go. That's nice and big. In order to decrease the hardness, you hit Shift and the square bracket key, and then it looks like this. Increase the hardness. It's the opposite of that. So I'm just going to hit Control A and press Delete to get rid of all of those things right there. Now, if you hold down Alt, you can actually get the color picker right there, so you can pick things right from the canvas. Fancy schmancy. If you right-click, you can change the size, but we know a better way to do that, and you can change the hardness, but we know a better way to do that. Also here, you can load all sorts of different brushes, and you can have all sorts of different tips. So if you wanted the tip to look like this, that's one of the options right there. But I don't want to show you the options they've already given you. I want to actually show you how you can make your own brush tip. In order to do that, you select out part of a canvas. So let's select out this part right here and make sure that it's black and white. So just kind of a black and white part of the image. This is color correction, so hopefully you already know how to do this. If you're just going through these tools linearly, you're not going to know that, but I will assume that you have that basis. If you want to create your own brush, here, let me just give this a nice little... going to right click and just make this a standard brush right here. There, that looks good to me. Looks pretty standard, and here we go. All right, so you need to grab a black and white image, something like this here. This looks pretty good. This looks even better. And what you do is you go to Edit, Define Brush Preset, say Sampled Brush. Oh, that's the opposite of what I wanted right there. So apparently what's black becomes the brush, and what's white isn't the brush, so I'm just going to invert that, go to Edit, Define Brush Preset, say OK, and now we have a brush that looks like this. So let me just swipe this around, and we have a brush that looks like this. Now, this doesn't look that great, and it doesn't look like, you know, the shape of it as I want it to. So I'm going to go into the brush menu. In order to find the brush menu or the brush window, you go to Window, Brush, or inside of the Options bar, if you have brush selected, you just click on this icon right here. And then I can do all sorts of things, such as have the size jitter from stroke to stroke, have it so it has a bit of scattering. So now when I do this, that happens. I can even have it so there's a bit of an angle jitter. So here we go. You can change the tilt of the X. Have that jitter a little bit. So here we go, shape dynamics. Play around with these. Here we go. We got the angle jittering a bit. We can even change the color dynamics if we want to do that a little bit. So you can have it so it swishes between the foreground color and the background color. So there we go. And let's foreground background jitter, have that going. We'll have the hue, the saturation, the brightness. We'll just have it jitter all around right here. Let's see what happens. There's a lot of options to play with, and we're not going to get into all of them. You can get some nice textures this way just by creating a brush tip. Instead of having it so it's different every time you lay down the brush, you can actually have it so even within a single brushing, it's applied per tip. So you'll notice that here, within a single thing, every single tip is a different color. So that's one more thing right there. Just that little checkbox right there makes that difference. You can see how it just has a random color every time. All right. Another tool inside of the brush palette is the pencil tool, and you use this. Here, let's do something that's a little bit blacker. Same thing, square bracket in order to increase. You use this very similarly to the pen tool. In fact, I know very few people who use it just because the pen tool is a better version of the pencil tool. So not that many people use the pencil tool right here. Color replacement tool, the way that this works here, I'm going to go back to where we started here. Color replacement tool is rather than just doing a color, say the color red, is it replaces part of the image's color to that. So you keep all of the texture, but it just replaces, and you can set it to all sorts of different modes. Color is the one that you expect standard. Again, very few people use this. It's just a fun thing that's possible. And then the mixer brush is pretty neat. What it allows you to do is instead of just drawing in red, it will combine red with whatever the colors that are already there are. So it's a lot more similar. It's a lot more similar to what it's like when painting on a canvas. So let's say I were to add some blue into this. Here we go. You can see that it actually mixes these colors together. And that's what the mixer brush does. It mixes the colors together. And you probably want more of a natural edge for this, just to get it working there. Obviously, there is a lot more to say about the mixer brush, but that goes a lot deeper into painting. And let's not talk about that. So those are the basic differences of the various brush tools right there. For the full 4-hour Photoshop crash course, click on the link below. And to get more of the tools, just click on this link inside of the video itself. Thanks for joining me.